Have you ever seen these developer items in Raft? This golden sword one-hits anything in the game, and this developer hat looks so unique. That was just one of 20 Raft facts I'll be telling you guys today. I guarantee there will be at least one you didn't know about. But let's start off with number one. You can place fuel pipes through walls if you have something on the other side to connect it with, like an engine. I've actually used this in my own Raft, and it's super helpful to make things that little bit more compact. Now, number two is that you can actually ride the whales in Raft. Yes, there are actually whales in Raft, and if you didn't already know, they were added in the renovation update, and since they're pretty rare, some people don't actually know that they're in the game. And not only that, but they're actually a form of transport. You can literally ride on them. Do it yourself, I promise you it's worth it. And speaking of animals, number three is that although your animals may act sad when you don't water their grass enough, they won't actually die. They did in the past, but that feature has since been removed, so starve them all you want, as long as Peter isn't watching. Fact number four is a little trick I use myself. Instead of carrying 3 or 4 water bottles everywhere you go, clogging up your inventory, just get one watermelon and then half eat that watermelon and use that to pick up more so that you can have an infinite stack of them. Since watermelons are actually a really good source of hydration, and currently this bug is still in Raft. For number 5, we're returning to the oceans, but we're going down deep. Did you know that if you dive deep enough, any animals that were chasing you despawn, and it's so dark that it just feels like a black void? It's pretty damn scary, so I wouldn't go down there if you're afraid of the oceans. And speaking of oceans, fact number 6 is that you can actually hurt the dolphins. I'm not sure if you can kill them, but your arrows definitely show blood when it hits them, so test it out for yourself if that's your kind of thing. Number 7 is a little trick I bet you didn't know. If you use the floating pole trick with the tiny starter raft and then destroy the bottom platform, you can get yourself a super futuristic floating raft. And yes, it works properly. It floats everywhere. It works fine. Literally, I challenge one of you guys to build the coolest UFO possible in Raft and show me your creation in my Discord, and the best one gets, well, a handshake. I hope that'll do. Anyways, for fact number 8, we're turning to the storyline. Did you know that when you leave a story island like Caravan Town, for example, and visit somewhere else like Tangaroa, then it will despawn the Caravan Town you initially went to and respawn all the items you picked up, so that when you go back there, the loot will be randomly generated once again, but items like the mayor's hat will respawn in their exact places again, meaning you can essentially get as many mayor hats as you want. Sounds like an abuse of power waiting to happen, but I'm all for it. Number 9 is once again a little bit harsh on the animals, but if you ever need some space on your raft and you've got a few hostages taking up space, then you can actually take them out using any kind of weapon. Or of course, the slightly more inhumane method of throwing them in the ocean is always there. Oh, and if you're going to throw them in the ocean, you may as well subscribe to Rye Games today. It's free, and if you do enjoy my videos, you should definitely do that for free cookies. Anyways, we're halfway there. So for fact number 10, let's talk about some decoration. Did you know that when you place fences around your raft, you can put the pyramid roofs inside of them, and it creates this kind of cool zigzag looking pattern? I did use it in my own raft until I realized it didn't really fit in with my whole aesthetic, but in some places it looks so good. So try it out for yourself and let me know what you think. Number 11 though is all about the sprinklers. Did you know that you can actually place them one layer underneath your animal pen and it will go through the floor, meaning you don't have to stare at that super ugly bottom part ever again? It's actually pretty easy to implement and makes working with pipes so much easier as well. And when you have to replace that battery, you can have your own room dedicated to that. And while we're on the topic, fact number 12 is about the pipes. We're gonna make our pipes float horizontally, which isn't actually possible regularly. All you have to do is build a floating path for the pipes to go on, and then once you've placed those pipes down, you can destroy the path, and voila, you've got your very own floating pipe system, and it looks pointless. Number 13, did you know that one of the most effective methods of getting biofuel is by fishing, and then instead of cooking those fish up for food, put them in the biofuel refiner? Some will say heads are better, and sure, you require less, but fish is so easy to get, and you can literally fish whenever you want, wherever you want. And number 14, speaking of fish, you can literally fish from the middle of your raft. You can also fish on the top layer of your raft, and you can even fish at the top of the world. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but there are no limits on this planet, so go crazy. Don't go fishing Bruce up though, because trust me, that doesn't work. That guy is just a little bit too heavy for us. Fact number 15 is about the center of the raft. Did you know that when you create a world, those 4 foundations you spawn on are deemed the center of your raft and ultimately stay that way for the rest of that world's existence? Essentially meaning that if you move your raft to one side side or far away from the center, you will no longer receive any trash and won't even get islands anymore, as it all revolves around those 4 foundations. It's an odd mechanic, but it does make sense for a game like Raft, as long as you don't try and break it, of course. Number 16. If you're short on wood and have completed the storyline, then one of the best ideas is to head over to Tangaroa. Why, you ask? Well, because Tangaroa has more than 80 trees on its premises. Each of these trees yield 3 planks and 3 leaves, meaning you can get over 12 stacks of each. I did it myself by just putting on a Rye Games video in the background and chilling out with some pineapple pizza, and it was actually pretty relaxing. You should try it yourself. And then for number 17, we're staying on the topic of trees. Did you know that there are 7 different types of trees in Raft? The palm tree, often found on your regular tropical islands. The mango tree, usually found on either tropical islands or in the desert biome. The birch trees, which are usually found in the evergreen biome, along with the pine trees, which also reside there. The banana plant, which is arguably not a tree, but we'll say it is. And obviously, we all know this is collected within Tangaroa, unless you haven't finished the story, of course, in which case, why are you watching this video? Go finish it, man. Chapter 3 is coming out soon. And then the last 2 trees are the acacia trees, which are also found in the desert biome and are actually the best trees by far, which is a shame since they actually don't drop any seeds. But then lastly, the Tangaroa tree, which is actually its own species apparently, and of course is found within Tangaroa. Anyways, that's far too much greenery for me, so for fact number 18, we'll talk about the slaughtering of seagulls, the most annoying animal in Raft, or rather the most annoying thing in Raft, because those things don't have souls. They swoop in through every nook and cranny and steal all of your beloved crops, so why don't we fix that? My friends always told me to tackle the problem at the source, so why don't we take some fireworks and aim it up at the seagulls? Trust me, if you have good aim, you won't be worrying about those guys anymore. And number 19 is also about those seagulls. Ever wondered how to keep them out of your rafts or away from your flower pots? Well, all you have to do is make a double layer of floors and then place your flower pots underneath the bottom floor right in the middle, as far away from the outer edge as possible. That's how I've set up my honey farm in my raft, and it works perfectly. Number 20, one of my favorite tricks is how to hide holes in the floor since trapdoors aren't actually in the game yet. Have you got pipes going through the floor in your raft, or maybe an electric purifier that puts huge holes in the bottom of your rafts? Well, you can cover up those eyesores with some carpet. Just paint the carpet the same color as your floor so it will blend in well. Remember, that doesn't stop you from falling through, so be careful. And before we end this video off, guys, I just want to quickly tell you about the game I've been developing myself in the background for the past couple weeks. It's called Wordies, and it's kind of reminiscent of Wordle, but it's got leaderboards, it's got stats, it's got a daily word, it's got a free-for-all mode, it's got everything you'd want in a word game. And it releases next month on the 1st of March. So if you want to be there straight away, wishlist it on Steam. I'll leave a link to Wordies in the description of this video and the comments, and any support is greatly appreciated. Anyways, did you learn anything new in today's video? Let me know in the comments down below and leave a like if you've enjoyed. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.